Well, hello, my friend, and welcome back to our journey through the Proverbs. My name is Steve Pederson, and today we are on day 20 of our 31-day journey. I'm so glad you've joined me again. If this is your first time, welcome. So great to have you. If you've been with this journey for a while now, though, I'll bet there's something that you're starting to notice. Something that I've definitely noticed is that my life is changing. Can you figure that? Go figure. But what I've noticed is that not only is each individual day helpful, of course, but what I'm starting to notice is a cumulative effect. Like it's really starting to take hold, focusing on this day in and day out, really beginning to make a profound change in my life, and I'm hoping that it's doing the same for you. And if you want to continue your transformation, let's go ahead and dive in to our text for today, which is, of course, Proverbs chapter 20. In verse 1, it says, "Wine is a mocker, and beer is a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. The terror of a king is like the roaring of a lion. He who provokes him to anger forfeits his own life. It is an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the winter. Therefore he will beg in harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Many men claim to be men of unfailing love, but who can find a faithful man? A righteous man walks in integrity. Blessed are his children after him. A king who sits on the throne of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, 'I have made my heart pure, I am clean and without sin'? Differing weights and differing measures, both of them alike are an abomination to the Lord. Even a child makes himself known by his doings, whether his work is pure and whether it is right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made even both of them. Don't love sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with bread. It's no good, says the buyer. But when he has gone on his way, then he boasts. There is gold and abundance of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a rare jewel. Take the garment of one who puts up collateral for a stranger, and hold him in pledge for a wayward woman. Fraudulent food is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is filled with gravel. Plans are established by advice. By wise guidance you wage war. He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, don't keep company with him who opens wide his lips. Whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp will be put out in blackness of darkness. An inheritance quickly gained at the beginning won't be blessed in the end. Don't say, "I will pay back evil." Wait for the Lord, and he will save you. The Lord detests differing weights, and dishonest scales are not pleasing. A man's steps are from the Lord. How then can man understand his way? It is a snare to a man to make a rash dedication, then later to consider his vows. A wise king winnows out the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of man is the Lord's lamp, searching all his innermost parts. Love and faithfulness keep the king safe. His throne is sustained by love. The glory of young men is their strength. The splendor of old men is their gray hair. Wounding blows cleanse away evil, and beatings purge the innermost parts. Well, I know some folks who really like physical punishment are really into that last verse. I wanted to focus today on verse 7, but my special guest for the day has stolen that verse from me, so that's fine. We'll let him go over that. What I want to focus on then is verse 29, which says, "The glory of young men is their strength. The splendor of old men is their gray hair." And no, I promise I'm not going to talk about my beard. This is not about my beard. Just to kind of reiterate this verse, though, in the New Living Translation, it says, "The glory of young men is their strength. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old." So gray hair there is just a metaphor for experience. So we're not talking about literal gray hair here. It's interesting. When I was younger, pretty young, I thought life was over by the time you got to age 30. That's right. I was like, oh man, when I'm 30, it's over. Your life is over. It's done. And honestly, I don't know why I thought that. I felt like that's it. Get all your living in before you turn 30, because after that, you've lost your chance. But the thing is, now I'm in my 50s, and I feel like I'm just getting started. I mean, I feel like a kid. I feel like things are just starting to get interesting for me. Now, young people, their glory is in their strength because that's all they have. They don't know any better. So that's what they have to rely on. When you're young, you're struggling to find yourself and to prove yourself and to kind of find your grounding, get your grounding. And it's at that age, and rightfully so, it's kind of more about getting than it really is about giving. You're kind of fighting to find your place in the world. And what I think is interesting right now, the time of this recording, it's football season. And you think about who are the young ones and who are the old ones. Well, the young ones, of course, are the ones that are on the field, and they're the ones that are playing. And if somebody even gets to the age of 40, they're like, oh my gosh, is he going to be retiring soon? He's so old. But who would you rather be in football? Would you rather be the person that's down on the field, that's, getting torn ACL, they're getting beat up, they're getting pummeled, they're getting concussions? Or would you rather be the guy who's sitting back and calling the shots, hiring people, firing people, making the decisions? You have all this wisdom. You're not out there getting pummeled on a weekly basis. You have it fairly safe. I would rather be that person. I would rather be behind the scenes than being seen, if you know what I'm saying. And I think it's interesting, similarly with guitar players. I'm a guitar player, and one of the things that I've noticed, especially on Instagram, is that these young kids, they just want to be seen playing guitar. And you can kind of tell that the younger and more immature that they are, the faster and louder they play. It's almost like they're just trying to prove themselves, like, let me show you how fast I can play. And it's kind of like somebody who's just talking a mile a minute but not really saying anything. But then you see the older and wiser and more mature players. And, maybe they're not as fast, but they're playing more tastefully and with more heart, more feeling, and more emotion. And what they have to play and to say through their playing is so much more interesting to listen to because they really know how to relate to the soul. Let me ask you this question. As you mature, and I mean physically, as you're growing older, do you look forward to it? Do you look forward to getting older? Do you look at yourself in the mirror, both physically and literally and metaphorically looking at yourself in the mirror and really loving what you see? Or as you get older, do you sort of dread what you see? My thought is that you're never too old to go after your dreams. You're never too old to have an impact. You're never too old to be the difference in somebody's life. I'll tell you what, let the youth have their strength. You know that saying, the youth is wasted on the young? Let them have their strength. Don't look down on the young for their strength. It's all they have, and they're going to need it. But what I want to encourage you to do is to look forward to growing and to becoming even more mature as you grow and age gracefully. So my affirmation for the day is simply, I am aging gracefully. I am aging gracefully. Well, now for somebody who has aged gracefully, we have our guest response, and this is from somebody who's chimed in before. This is from Roland, who is a grandfather from Pasco, Washington, and he's focusing on verse 7, which says, "A righteous man walks in integrity. Blessed are his children after him." And he says, "Children will not always do what you say, but will do what you do. Has been my focus as I raised my children." Focus on being a light for the Lord. Verse 7 hits this right on. So true. Oh my gosh. And his takeaway, his affirmation for us is, I am always being a light for my children and grandchildren. I'm always being a light. Now, I think what's interesting about that affirmation, and thank you, Roland, for that, is that, we really don't need too much convincing. We're always being a light, whether we are aware of it or not. The younger generation is always looking up to the older generation and taking their cues from the older generation. So that affirmation is right on, definitely. So thank you, Roland, for submitting that. I want to thank you guys again for watching. If you have a takeaway or an affirmation that you would love to share, absolutely would love to hear it. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Information on how you can contact us, get in touch with us, and even some more information about the lesson today can be found in the description. But I want to thank you so much for joining us today for day 20. Hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 21. So long, take care, and have a great rest of your day.